2 Nigerian men were extradited to the United States after being indicted for international sexual blackmail. A statement by the United States Department of Justice indicates that the defendants were previously indicted for causing the death of Marquette teen. U.S. Attorney Mark Totten, for the Western District of Michigan, announced that Samuel Ogoshi, 22, and Samson Ogoshi, 20, both of Lagos, Nigeria, have been extradited to the United States from Nigeria to face prosecution after being indicted for sexually extorting numerous young men and teenage boys in the Western District of Michigan and across the United States. It says Samuel Ogoshi was also charged with causing the death of 17-year-old Jordan DeMay, of Marquette, Michigan, who was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in March 2022. The statement explains that the defendants are expected to make their initial appearance at the federal courthouse in Grand Rapids at a time to be determined by the court. Samuel and Samson Ogoshi were arrested in Nigeria around January at the request of the United States. In May, they were charged with a 4-count charge. Count 1 charges Samuel Ogoshi with sexual exploitation and attempted sexual exploitation of a minor resulting in death. The charge carries a maximum penalty of life in prison and a statutory mandatory minimum of 30 years in prison. Count 2 charges both men with conspiracy to sexually exploit minors by causing the minors to produce child pornographic images that the defendants then used to blackmail the minors. The charge carries a maximum penalty of 30 years in prison and a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison. Count 3 charges both men with conspiracy to distribute child pornography to minors and their families and friends. The charge carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and a mandatory minimum penalty of 5 years in prison. Count 4 charges both men with conspiracy of stalking through the internet and engaging in this extortion scheme as it relates to both minors and young adults. The charge has a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison. All charges have provisions for fines, restitution, and supervised release after their release from prison. The grand jury alleges that the defendants bought hacked social media accounts and used the accounts to pose as young women to lure teenage and young adult males into sexual chats. Please like and subscribe to this channel.